The Taliban bans windows to stop women from being seen inside homes. A man is arrested after telling the police that he's the DUI tonight. And Kim Jong Un bans hot dogs for North Koreans. These are the weird stories for Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a guy inside a closet. Here we go. The Taliban ban windows to stop women from being seen at home. Well, these hooligans just ban everything. It seems appropriate. They have the word ban right in their names. They just ban everything. Why don't you just ban the use of the word woman and just get it over with, Taliban? I'm starting to think that they really aren't treating their women okay over there. What do you guys think? The Taliban have recently banned windows in residential buildings in order to stop women from being seen while they are at home in Afghanistan. How dare women have jobs, schooling, or, heaven forbid, windows? Look at these hussies flaunting their visibility. This is so ridiculous. And I feel so terrible for the women over there. My goodness. This is what you get, though, when you have a place where cavemen make all the rules. Women are maltreated. They cover them in robes. There are no more windows so you can't see them. Why don't you just make them wear large inflatable dinosaur costumes while you're at it? That way they can barely hobble around. Wow. This just in, the Taliban introduces a locker to keep your woman in when you're not using her to make babies. All right, let's keep reading and get some information about these pathetic men. Hibatullah Akhundzaza, the leader of the Taliban, ordered that buildings should not have windows looking into places where a woman could be sitting or standing. Does Hibatullah realize how gay that is? Just wondering. Because not looking at women at all, that sounds pretty gay to me. It says here, the order applies to both new buildings and existing ones. Well, that seems a little redundant. All new buildings and existing buildings. Gotta let you know, new buildings are also existing. So, does anyone know what a non-existent building is? Please clue me in. Well, I mean, you can't expect these gay cavemen to have any brains. The decree posted by government spokesperson Zabullah Mujahid states that new buildings should not have windows where you can see the courtyard, kitchen, neighbor's well, and other places usually used by women. Oh, good. So I guess the dungeon that some of them keep their women in will be okay then, right? Banning windows. Why don't you ban doors while you're at it? Because people could see a woman through the keyhole, bro. You could see them through the keyhole, bro. Why don't you ban roads while you're at it? Because some roads lead to women. Also, women can be seen in sunlight. Do they know that? Why don't you ban the sunlight while you're at it? Why don't they just declare homosexuality the new norm so they don't have to be so ashamed of themselves, these cavemen over there? Turn the country into a gay sauna already. Let them... Or just have a way for scientists to make it so they can impregnate the goats and the camels, and then they can ban women altogether. All right, let's hear this asinine quote from this guy Mujahid, Zabalullah Mujahid. He says, seeing women working in kitchens, in courtyards, or collecting water from the wells can lead to obscene acts. Oh, really? Can it? Yeah, if the men just rape them. Of course, you don't want to, put a restriction on the behavior of the men at all. No. Just restrict the freedom of the women in any way possible. Hey, Mujahid, I got a way you can solve this problem. Just why don't you tear the eyes out of the men instead? Can we put it to a vote? All in favor, say aye for no eyes. All in favor of no eyes, say aye. Eyes have it. Eyes have the no eyes. Did you guys realize what I was trying to do there? I thought it was funny. All right, for those of you who are living over there and have property with windows and you have a lady in there, Don't worry, you can solve the problem. You're instructed to build a wall to block the view to avoid nuisances caused to the neighbors. Don't be a nuisance to your neighbor by having a lady in your house and there's a window. The visibility of a female can really be a nuisance to your neighbor. Wow, 2025. Can you believe I'm reading this? How soon before these cavemen over there discover fire and the wheel? I'd love for them to invent the wheel. That way the women could escape on unicycles. There's a quote here from a lady who's a director of women's rights at the Human Rights Watch. She says, quote, "People have talked about the Taliban metaphorically erasing women, but increasingly this isn't metaphorical at all. They've already ordered that women's voices shouldn't be heard in public, and now they are essentially stopping women from even looking out of a window. They're stopping women from being seen. They're stopping women from seeing the world. It's a total annihilation of women's personhood, and it is clearly ongoing. We don't have any idea where this will end." In Afghanistan, the Taliban, if you don't know, has blocked women from living. They can't go to work. They can't get an education. They can't go to public spaces. They bar them from taking parts in all sports. They're prohibited from going to a salon, working out at a gym, speaking in public, praying in public. They're barred from studying. Girls are barred from studying beyond the 6th grade. And this extends to colleges and universities, obviously. And now they can't even step in front of a window. So sad, so sad. And that's why we should all support the extinction of this ideology, wherever we may find it in the world, and whatever it takes, for the sake of the women. A man was arrested after he told officers he was the DUI instead of the DD. The story is out of Murrieta, California, which is in Southern California. Kind of a deserty place. I don't recommend going there. A man in Murrieta was arrested on New Year's Day for driving under the influence after he apparently mixed up the terms DUI and DD. Are we all familiar? DUI is driving under the influence of alcohol or anything else. Well, drugs, not anything else, because, you know, it's okay to drive under the influence of s'mores, I think. That's okay. DD is the designated driver. So, some people call it the designated decoy. That's a thing, too. Are you guys familiar with the designated decoy? That's when you and your friends leave the bar, and you're all driving in separate cars, and most everybody is pretty tipsy. So you get the one who's sober drives away from the bar, swerving along the highway. They get pulled over, and then they do the breathalyzer. Surprise, I'm actually sober, and the rest of us drunk idiots, we get home the back way instead. So it's a designated decoy. I'm not making this up, guys. Anyways, back to the story about this. We have body camera footage that was posted on the Murrieta Police Department's Instagram. It shows an officer speaking with a driver that was pulled over during a traffic stop. The police said that the officer saw the driver swerving across the roadway. That's why the driver was pulled over. When asked where he was coming from, the driver declared he was, quote, tonight's DUI. He says, quote, I was just dropping off my friend because I'm the DUI tonight. The police officer says, you're the DUI tonight? Yes, sir, I am. The officer says, do you mean to say the DD? No, I think he meant the DUI. He's just, owning up to his crimes here. Everybody knows admitting your crime is the way to get out of it. So just throw all your cards. Show your cards. Honesty is the best policy, as they say. Look at me. I'm the DUI. I'm the DUI. Police said after admitting to consuming alcohol, the driver underwent several standardized field sobriety tests. The driver struggled to maintain balance, nearly fell over multiple times. He was ultimately arrested for DUI and taken to jail. You can't take me to jail. I'm the DUI. That's why we're taking you to jail, sir. I want to know, did he get some of his friends home safely, though, as his alternate ego, the DD? Did he get some guys home and then was pulled over alone trying to get himself home? Oh, I'm the DUI tonight. It must have been something I drank. I should have called a lift. I should have called a lift. Okay, it says the young man was ultimately arrested for DUI, taken to jail, as you can imagine. You can't do this stuff on New Year's, man. You gotta be very careful. They put up these traffic stops on New Year's just randomly to catch drunk drivers just like this. Bro, an Uber is 2 clicks away. 2 clicks away. You can Uber. Leave your car at the bar if you have to. It's New Year's, man. They're out there. They're on the prowl. Or, don't drink at all at your New Year's. And you can drive home after that. You can do other chemicals and still drive home. I'm not talking about the chemicals that impair your vision and coordination. There's other chemicals that heighten such things. I think those are all right. In general, you can drive around like that. Really keep the speed limit. Sometimes, you drive a little under the speed limit even. You're just trying to be cautious because you've taken some chemicals that make you a little cautious, maybe even a little paranoid. And that's okay. That's okay. I'd rather have a paranoid driver on the road than a drunk driver on multiple shots of Fireball. Disgusting.
Hey, Todd, Daddy, how you doing?
Kim Jong-un bans hot dogs for North Koreans. Kim Jong-un, the guy, the dictator of North Korea. Really swell guy. Treats his people so nice. There's a major food shortage, but let's ban more food while we're at it. He's banning hot dogs, apparently, so there's more for him. North Koreans have reportedly been banned from eating hot dogs as part of a crackdown on Western culture, infiltrating the Hermit Kingdom. Dictator Kim Jong-un has declared that serving the sausage is an act of treason. This is amid the rising popularity of a South Korean dish inspired by the U.S. What South Korean dish inspired by the U.S. has hot dogs in it? I'm curious. Let's learn a lot about what's going on in Korea. Hold on. I got to blow my nose. All right, so Kim Jong says that anyone caught selling or cooking hot dogs face the prospect of time in the country's infamous labor camps. Damn it, there goes my plans to move to North Korea and open a hot dog stand. I was going to do it, guys. By the way, what do they serve at baseball games if not hot dogs? Do they have baseball in North Korea? I know they have it in South Korea. I need to Google this. My guess is no, because I heard it's illegal to have any fun there as well. Okay, it says baseball was brought to North Korea at the end of the 19th century when the Japanese were occupying it, and then it's kind of disappeared. We have one individual here saying that it's Japan's love of baseball, not America's, that is responsible for its current lack of popularity in North Korea, because Japan is a worse enemy than America to the North Koreans, which I was unaware. This is just an anecdote, though. I don't know how accurate this is. They did put together a national team. It is called the North Korean National Baseball Team and represents North Korea in international competition. Okay. So I guess during the Olympics, maybe? Do they field a team? Not a lot of information on the North Korea national baseball team. I think these guys been murdered. What's the deal? They just seem to disappear over there, these baseball players. Anyways, I've gone down a rabbit hole of North Korean baseball. I just wanted to know if there was baseball games and what are they going to serve instead of hot dogs? Definitely not serving the old Cracker Jacks because that's super American. Gonna have to change the lyrics to that "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" when sung in North Korean baseball games as well. All right, back to the story about Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un banning hot dogs over there. Is it all penis-shaped delights are banned? Are sausages okay over there? I wonder. Let's keep reading. People caught selling or cooking the hot dogs face the country's infamous labor camps. This is all part of the regime's efforts to quash capitalist culture among the citizens. It has forbidden the sale of budai jigai, a dish imported from pro-Western neighbor South Korea. The spicy Korean-American hot pot, which means army-based stew, includes hot dogs or Spam among its ingredients, which sounds delicious. But because it's got the hot dog in there, they've banned it in the country. Oh, there's a photo of this dish. Man, it looks very good. There's hot dogs and Spam? I thought it was hot dogs or Spam. No, it's hot dogs and Spam and noodles. Spicy broth. Ooh, this looks really, really good. I think I'd like to try this budai jjigae with hot dogs that were cooked right on top of Kim Jong-un's flat top. His head looks like perfect for grilling hot dogs, like right on his. It's so flat. You could put 6 or 7 hot dogs on there; they would not even roll off of Kim Jong Un's flat top. He's got like the hair of a small Lego man. You know those like plastic Lego people who you pop off the hair. It looks like you could pop his hair right off, put on a different style. you know. All right, just having some fun here. Jonesy's on some medication still, so just bear with me. Fine, I probably have another day of this at least. All right, well, good news for North Koreans. You can't have hot dogs, but you could still maintain your current diet of dirt and sawdust, so that's a great. I find a little Tapatio on the sawdust does wonders, guys. Although Tapatio is probably banned over there. Which is weird because didn't Kim Jong-un invent the burrito? Remember? I covered that story years ago. I'll never forget it. He claims that his father invented the burrito, and they made a mural. They showcased a mural, and in the mural it shows his father inventing the burrito. I mean, it's pure comedy over there. I mean, it's pure comedy from afar. Tragedy plus distance. If I was over there, it would be a nightmare. Just what's the suicide rate in North Korea? I'd like to know. You just can't have a life when you're run by a man like this. It's just impossible. This guy's the worst. I mean, what a brat, am I right? Come on, guys. Putting a little button on the story with some bad puns. Hey, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. I appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed yet to the show, please consider doing so. Just a heads up of what I do here. I record in my closet 5 days a week, weird news. Monday through Thursday, it's weird news from all around the world. And on Friday, it's only weird news from Florida. So that's what we do around here. Occasionally, I sing. I probably should stop that, but people seem to enjoy it. I want to give thanks and praise to a real big supporter of the show, and that is Isabella Hale. Or it also says Isabella Jacobs, in parentheses, Hale, who just became a member of the Patreon, and very, very lovely. And I so appreciate Isabella, so I just want to show her some love here and thank her for showing support for the Weird AF News podcast by joining the Patreon, which is like, buying Jonesy a coffee or two every single month, keeping me caffeinated, keeping me going here in the closet while I pump out all of these weird news stories for your edification. Is that a word? I heard it in a speech once by a president. Thought I'd use it. Anyways, big shout out to Isabella. So appreciate Isabella. If you guys want to join the Patreon like the amazing Isabella, please go to patreon.com/weirdafnews or weirdafnews.com and click on the Patreon logo. That's on the very front page. It's on the home page of the website. It's very, very easy. And when you join the Patreon, you get extra perks. You get access to additional weird posts, weird content that I sort of curate specifically for my patrons. Weird media that I come across, weird stories that are inappropriate for the podcast, weird stories that are more of a visual nature that wouldn't really work well on an audio platform like a podcast. I'll put in there clips of my own stand-up comedy, announcements about things going on in my life personally. I share a lot of weird stuff that I'm doing behind the scenes, places that I go, stuff that I'm eating, weird movies that I watch, this sort of thing. So it's a little extra stuff that you get when you join the Patreon as well. So I'm just saying that. So it's not just like handing over, a donation for nothing. It's and you get access to this group of big fans of the show too. There's a lot of great people in the Patreon who are always having discussions in there. You can even join the fantasy football, the Patreon Fantasy Football League when I do another one next year. All that kind of stuff. Just extra perks when you join the Patreon. It's quite fun, and you get a little bit more for your money. That's all. Anyways, that's enough rambling and trying to sell my Patreon here. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to another episode, and we'll do it again tomorrow, and I hope you'll be there with me.